Mm-hmm. Come. Let me close this. Over. Really? What did you do? Like your opinion, that's not wrong.
That's not wrong.
Nothing. It's nothing. So, okay, so you went to the, okay. Really? How many were you on there? Did you go? Not many people went. We have.
No, to the con.
I'll tell you about it in a minute. So, okay, so that was what, Friday or Saturday?
Saturday or Sunday.
And you came back Sunday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like to see. I saw Alejandro Sanz many years ago. I thought he was very, very good from a musician's point of view. Mana, I don't care for.
I like both of them.
It's not me. I like more.
Okay.
And Alejandro Sanz, because I appreciate the music. I mean, Mana is good. I'm not saying they're bad. They're not my favorite at all.
Okay. We were surprised because Alejandro Sanz sings like we hear here, like we listen in the radio.
Right.
Or the same. The sound was so good.
Very good. Okay, excellent. Mana, well, both of them have been around
Mana
for a
too,
long
but
time.
not like Alejandro Sanz.
The thing is with Mana, that the drummer,
Mm-hmm.
he does a lot of things and he doesn't do it on the album. So that's what
He doesn't what?
he plays different live. He's probably the best drummer in Latin music.
He's crazy.
No, he's very good. He's very good.
He spent like 15 minutes playing
the drum solo.
The drums. He's crazy.
But he is probably the best drummer in Latin America for that kind of music, because okay, and Alejandro Sanz has a very good band. He's a very good musician.
Yes,
so.
yes. And a lot of people in the band. They have
Yeah.
so many.
Right. I have a friend, a very good friend from school, Ricardo Martinez. He plays bass for Cheyenne. He's been playing with Cheyenne for many years. And he's coming in February, I found out today. Because he's coming February 15th, I think.
Who?
Cheyenne's coming. I saw it's called a billboard or a poster. I saw it today. Hopefully I'll get to see you. It's in Capcana, one evening.
Okay.
Hey, what did you do this weekend? She's annoyed because you're moving in the chair. I don't. Let her be.
But she's always moving in there.
I don't understand.
Yes.
Okay. So, so tell me, what did you do this weekend?
I was on Saturday. Yes. I was in my boyfriend's house.
Okay, at his house. In.
At
We'll look at this place. That's a pretty.
Big Burger.
Okay, a big burger. Where did you eat?
It's like that.
It was, because it's no more.
I have a picture.
Let me see.
It is a video. Not a picture.
Oh my. Oh.
It was that.
And what did it have?
Beef and cheese, fried cheese with Doritos.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And bacon and
Bread.
wow, really.
And what about what sauces? Was this in a food truck?
Yes, it was in a food truck. It's not yours. It's mine.
Huh?
I'm going to take it now.
You know
Like a gift.
that's
Christmas gift.
okay. All right. the person who makes those,
Mhm.
he made the ones that are here too, that we bought for our house, the bag, because that has 5. And we bought quite a few of them for him, for the school. And he said that he called me last week that he had he had made 12 for a business, some office or something. But when he brought them, they didn't fit, so they only bought 10. So he had 2 extra. So he said to tell my students that if you're interested, he will give you the same price that he sells them to us. Because what he sells those for 5,800, but the price that he gives us is 4,500. So it's about 700-800 pesos. And they're like that. They're like a lot of.
I don't have space in my house to have one of
No.
I would like them. I don't have.
Because the thing is, these you can use. See, you can use them. The thing is with these, you can use that. Right. Like that. Lay down. Or something like that. And I think the other one was that. I don't know. It's that in the port. But anyway, everybody.
Yes.
So, okay. And what about Sunday?
On Sunday,
Get up and do it again.
Oh,
That's
no.
fantastic. Okay.
So
I
Where
was
was-
in the house. I told you one of the day that we have a what is the name? When you give a gift.
Oh,
It's like
we had a really nice, class. Then I went to an event that we had in a ranch, a small ranch in San Cristobal. Then we had a birthday in the evening. And Sunday. I like to.
11.
Until 11. I sleep a lot on weekends. And sometimes I wake up at 1. I like skip Sunday. I
I can't.
I
Oh, no,
like
I
to
get-
sleep.
like it, yeah, because I don't, really have much to do on Sunday. So, and the added bonus of this Sunday that it was raining. So, get up for what? Go where? Just forget it. So, we literally got up, had breakfast, and went back to sleep. Just all day. And watched some Netflix and just did absolutely nothing. Except for in the evening, we decided to go for sushi and go to the supermarket and blah, blah, blah. Anyway. But the thing is, it was a nice weekend. It was good. So Alejandro Sanz and Mana, good for you. Good for you. We have a cousin that went to the concert too.
Okay.
Yeah, she was there. I know a couple of people who were there. Let me switch this thing off. Oh, come on, quiet. Okay. So I want to talk to you about something called adverts of the police.
I was thinking of that this morning. I don't know why.
Adverbs of place, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I don't know why.
So we're in sync. So when you have, actually we can do, the way I do it is I do time and place. Okay? The easiest way to understand this is that it's almost a matter of size. Okay? And I'll explain why. So for for describing time and place. So we're just going to do in, at, on. Okay, so in, at, on. Okay, because of what you were talking about, in my house or at my house. Okay, so it also depends sort of like on specific. Okay, how specific. So you can say that this is bigger, smaller. I'll explain in a minute. Smallest. Okay. Now, for example, when you talk about centuries, so you have time and place. You do, for example, centuries. So you say the 1900s. In the 1900s. Okay? Decades. In the 90s, in the 70s, or in the 80s. Okay? Then you have years. So you say, for example, 1990, 2000, okay. In 1990, President Fulano, right? Okay. Months. Okay, June. Remember that you're always capital letter in months and days of the week in English. June, October. So in October, we are going to buy a house. Okay? And then you also have seasons. So fall, summer. In summer, I'm going on vacation. Okay? So periods of time. Periods of time, for example, the past, the future, for example. Okay? There's a lot of information, so. Okay, the future. Okay. Also, I can send you a picture of the thing. I'll send it to you WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. Also, you have holidays. But this we have to. There's an exception, like always. So you have, for example, Easter. So in Easter we hunt for eggs. Okay. And then parts of the day.
In the afternoon.
Exactly. Afternoon.
In the morning.
In the morning, and so on. Exactly. Okay. So we can say those are bigger options. Okay. We're going to do this way, and then we'll go that way. Okay.
Why bigger?
I'll explain. You'll see why. You'll understand why. Okay. So when you talk about, we'll do this in blue. In at. So this. Okay.
It's smaller than what?
Watch.
Wait.
This is
You
specific.
have to wait my little bit down.
This is specific. This is more specific.
At my house.
So you say, for example, in terms of time, not place.
At the
You say
university.
you have
Can you wait?
time, not place.
Oh,
Time, not place.
sorry.
Okay. Okay. Now, you have, for example, you have the weekend or days. Sorry, my mistake. That wasn't making any sense. That's why.
It's on.
On.
Oh.
Okay. On days, Monday. So Monday I have an exam, right? Then you have dates. Okay, so on April 3rd, for example. Right? You have specific days. So you say, for example, on my birthday, for example, right? So you're being more specific. Day plus part of the day. So you say in the afternoon, but if you say specific part of it, for example, day plus part of the day. So you say Sunday. So for example, Mariela came back on Sunday afternoon. Okay? So that's more specific. And then you have holidays with day. For example, on
December 25th.
on Easter Day. Okay? On Christmas Day. Because Christmas Eve, what they call Christmas Eve, is the day before Christmas. So Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. So Christmas Eve is December 24th. Christmas Day is December 25th. New Year's Eve, and that's EVE. New Year's Eve is December 31st. New Year's Day is January 1st. Is that clear? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, good. Okay, so for example, you say Christmas. Separate this. When you're doing very specific. Okay, you use at. And that's the smallest. Okay, so for example, hours. 5 p.m. 8 a.m. You're being, as a matter of fact, okay, 3:25. Okay, so you're being specific when you say, for example, night, right? And noon is 12 o'clock in the day. So it's a specific, I did say part of the day, but here you're talking about, in the morning. It could be 6, it could be at 11:30, it's still in the morning. Mm-hmm. In the afternoon, it could be 2:30, it could be 5:30, or 5:15. So you're not being very specific. Oh, we'll meet in the afternoon. Okay, then we'll say, okay, at what time? Oh, we can meet at 3:25. Or we can meet at noon. Okay? Right. So, you can talk about a time. For example, moment. So, at that moment, he's arrived. I had made a mistake. Okay? Mm-hmm. And you can also have holidays without day. So for example, Easter. By the way, Easter, a lot of people call it Holy Week. No, Easter.
It's not the same.
Nope. So Holy Week is just a translation that someone came up with, but that is not correct. The English term for it is Easter. Okay? And you have Good Friday, and then you have Ash Wednesday. So each day, according to the Christian belief system, has a specific day. It has a specific name, sorry. Okay? So is this clear? So that is why, I know Mariela, don't say I have to get another pen, another marker. Okay? So that is why you're being more specific. Notice that you have some things that are repeated, but they're more specific. That's why I say bigger, smaller, and smallest. So you could say, for example, holidays is probably the only one that has all three, right? Mm-hmm. So when you can say holidays, you can say Easter.
And part of day too.
Part of the day.
Or parts of the day. So afternoon,
Midnight.
Sunday afternoon, or midnight or noon, because I'm the only one specific. Right? Okay. So that's basically how you use it. Again, I know it's not written well, but I'll send you this graph. This is the one I have on my drive. Right? So, is that clear?
Yes.
For time. Okay? Now we're going to go with place. So adverbs of place. In, you do countries. Okay? For example, France. Spain. Okay? I was born in Spain. I'm going to have my vacations in Spain. Not at Spain or on Spain. Now, you do say on something, yes, but you're going to be in the country as well. Okay? Okay.
Money.
No, it's just a card, honey. Okay. Also, cities. Okay. Santo Domingo, Paris. Just very similar. Okay.
Same.
I'm having my. That's actually, you may not realize it's the third time you say the same thing today.
Really?
Yes. I noticed that.
She's got with me.
Yeah, I know. It's just, you have to follow your heroes. Anyway, also neighborhoods. For example,
Villa Mella.
Villafaro,
Yes, Villafaro.
Manhattan.
The same.
Exactly. I don't know.
They are the same.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I wasn't.
I personally like to shop. Everything, all my clothes I buy in Paris.
Where?
Paris. With Duarte. He said, oh, where did you buy your shoes?
In Paris.
Really? Oh, where did you? No, Paris. From Duarte. Okay, so neighborhoods. Manhattan, Villafaro, Gardini, in. Okay?
In Manhattan.
And enclosed spaces. Now, for example, there is, for example, a car, okay, a bus. Now,
A car in a bus.
yes,
But I
but,
can't say in the house.
but,
You can say
in the house, yes, I am in, yes, you can find it in the house, in the store. Okay, I am in my house.
What about the other?
But then it's present.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't determine time. You can say I was in my house yesterday. So
Why
it doesn't
have to
determine
say
time.
At my boyfriend's house.
Okay, I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, because remember, English has rules. It has 100 rules, but it has 150 exceptions. So, for example, why do you say in a car, but you say on a
Because
plane?
I'm in
But
the car.
why do you say on a plane?
On
I am on the plane. You don't say I'm in the plane. You can say it, but you say on a plane. So there are some people argue that if you can move, okay, like on a train. I came here on a train, not in a train, but you are in the train. So some people say that if you can stand up and move, it's on.
You are on.
If you can stay seated, it's in. However, I came here on my motorcycle, not in my motorcycle, but it's not enclosed. It's not a closed space, but neither is train or airplane. They're not open.
What about the bus?
So a bus, you can say in a bus or on a bus.
Yes, because I
You
can
should
walk
say
the bus.
on a bus.
And here in Dominican Republic, you can do whatever you want in a bus.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask.
Yes.
That's too much
My
information.
Jimmy, walk.
But you see what I'm saying? So it should be on if you can move on a truck, on a train, on
On a truck.
a truck. Yes.
You move on a truck.
Yeah. You can move on a truck. Not if you're driving.
Okay.
Okay. But again, that in terms of transportation, it's very, very. I noticed a bus, but you can say on a bus, which is more common actually.
In a bus.
Okay? So,
On a bus.
specific streets.
Street.
So, I live on Luis F. de Tomé Street. I live on Duarte Street.
18th Street.
Okay? So, I live on that street. Now, we finished with the in.
I
Right?
live
On.
Also, avenues. That building is on 7th Avenue. Okay, or 5th Avenue, New York. Okay? And on Duarte Avenue, or 27 Febrero Avenue. It's difficult in Spanish and English, but anyway. Carpet.
I always say surfaces.
Surfaces. Surfaces. So now it sounds strange, doesn't it? Surfaces. So you, for example, you are on you.
On the carpet.
I
On the
threw
floor.
this on the carpet or on the floor. Okay. Also on the wall. Okay. Something is on the wall. There's paint on the wall. Okay. So I'm going to
Spider-Man
hang
on the
this.
wall.
I'm going to hang this picture of Mariela on the wall. Yeah, it's a secret throne I have in my house with candles,
Okay. It's like a voodoo.
like upside down voodoo dolls. And shit.
Did you go to San Juan?
I'm from someone. No, I'm kidding.
You're from
No.
Venezuela.
Yes.
There's actually someone in Venezuela, but I'm not from it.
Okay.
Okay. Again, means of transport. So, in some cases, on a bus. I know that's contrary to this.
On.
Okay.
On.
Surfaces.
Surfaces.
Still stuck on surfaces.
Surfaces.
My bad.
It is easy, Maria.
No.
And what?
I always say
Surfaces.
surfaces.
Really?
Yes. Surfaces.
Communication.
So
On
I
the
heard that
radio.
on the radio.
Radio.
I saw you on TV. Okay.
Yes. Radio.
So again, smaller. We have countries, cities, and neighborhoods, and now we have streets, avenues, and so on. So we're getting smaller. We're getting more specific. Okay? It's easier to see it in adverbs of place rather than adverbs of time. Right? So now we go with addresses for at. Address. Okay, so you say, for example, 45 West 8th Street. So I am at that street because I'm specific. I'm being very specific on what address. Okay, here I'm just saying, for example, 5th Avenue, right? Here I'm at 45 West 5th Avenue. I'm going to explain how addresses work, streets and avenues in the United States, Canada, and almost everywhere else in the world. That does not apply here. Because in our countries, Venezuela is the same. In the United States, streets run east, west, west to east. Avenues go north to south. Okay? So in the United States, you're never going to see two avenues intersect. That doesn't make sense. But I'll explain in a minute how addresses work in the United States. All right? So, also, you have specific locations. For example, at the station, at the bus stop, at the grocery store.
My boyfriend's house.
A grocery store? He has a bus stop? Right? So, you're being specific. So, for example, if you say, I call you, Mariela, where are you? And you say, well, I am at
the school.
At the school, because you're being specific, okay? Because you're being more specific, okay? I am at La Sirena Church, because you're being specific where you're at, okay? Yes, technically you're in it, but in terms of address of place, you are at it, okay? So, to answer your question, you were in a house, yes, but you were being specific because you said you were at any house?
No, my boyfriend's house.
So, boyfriend makes it specific,
Okay.
okay? You could say, technically, I was in a friend's house. How many friends do you have? Oh, I have 300 friends. So, in a friend's house is in a
I
friend's
don't
house.
have friend.
At a friend's house, which is also... I'm surprised you do.
Okay, good.
So, technically, you can say in a friend's house or at a friend's house, and that would sort of suggest if it's specific or not.
It's because how much it's covered, for example. In...
How specific you're being, really.
Okay.
Okay. So we are in Plaza Central. Okay. We can say on the 4th floor. We're at the classroom. Although technically we are in an enclosed space, so we can be in a classroom. Okay. That's why I'm saying it's very. There are very set rules, but at the same time there are a lot of exceptions. So it's very common. I give you the example of La Sirena because people say, "So where are you?" "Oh, I'm in La Sirena." No, you're translating. That's why my students, when I say stop translating, I'm not. Yes, you are. I know you're translating. Why? Because you're doing it wrong. Because you are not being specific. How many sirenas are there? 20? So you're not being specific. Telling me you're, as a matter of fact, how many are in Santo Domingo? 7? 8 maybe?
More.
Let's say 10. So if I ask you, Marela, where are you? You say, in La Sirena. What am I going to ask you? Which one? Because you're not being specific. If you say, I'm at La Sirena Obando, I'm in Sirena Churchill, then you're saying at La Sirena Churchill because you're being specific.
Yes, I understand.
Got it?
have to go
Yes,
to
I got it.
Serena Churchill.
You have to go?
We have to go to the
Whenever you,
class.
it was, you tell me.
Let's
Go
go.
in January. Let's go now. Let's go now. It's 7:20. Okay. So let me, before I forget, I'm going to send you
Yes.
the picture.
You're not my friend. Don't look at me.
In spite of how inviting that sounded, don't look at me. I'm not your friend.
I'm your
Okay.
friend. You were in my house.
And
I give you dinner in my house.
and
You are my friend.
but what did you say? Just help me. You want to know what did you say?
I mean, too many friends.
Okay.
We are being specific.
You are
Yeah.
the
Now, that's something else I wanted to talk to you about. When you talk about too much or too many, when you say too much or too many, it's actually negative.
I will never understand that.
You will now. if you say I had too much to eat, it's not the same as saying I had a lot to eat.
Oh, yes, I know.
So too much is more than enough. So it has a negative connotation.
Okay.
Right? What would you say? Because I told you not too much or
Too many.
or too many.
I say too many.
I have too many shoes. Well, you've never had too many shoes, so that's a bad example. I have
Never.
too many things to do. It's a
Yes.
negative connotation.
Yes.
Right? I have too much work. It's a negative connotation.
I have too many money. Too
Too much
money.
money.
Too much
There
money.
you go. Too much money. Why? Because it's
No.
shit.
I never have too much money. You don't have money.
I don't have.
But you are like in 10 exchange. You exchange. You have money.
Yes, but that is like something in
No,
my
I don't know.
family.
Like 10.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can be 50 pesos each. It's not.
It's not 50 pesos.
It's not money.
Like 500 pesos
Hell no.
or more.
Yes, more.
Mm,
All of my gifts
No,
were from too much.
like 5 gifts. No.
3, 4.
No, no, no.
3.
4.
They were 3. The first one was a plus. The second one was a pen. And the third one was a shoes. It was shoes. Oh my goodness. We are almost on vacation.
Okay. So you have the adverb, not adverb, prepositions of time and place in the group. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I can erase this and explain something else.
No, you can't.
Too late. I almost cared for a minute.
Oh,
Sure.
Okay.
No.
So this is north.
Dominican Republic.
Oh no. East, south, and west. Okay. So again, in terms of streets, streets go this way. Okay. I mean, yeah, streets. Okay. Okay. And avenues go like that. North to south, south to north. Okay? So, for example, in the United States, you have, and then you go, for example, streets go, there's a 0 number, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, and so on. Okay? So, for example, Miami, I'll give you that example. Miami, the 0 for streets is a street called Flagler. So, because I know Miami very well, so not that easy for me to do that example. So Flagler is 0, right, for avenues. Okay, so Flagler being 0 means that if you live, for example, on 722, we'll do it easier, 720 East 4th Street. That's an address, okay? Immediately, because it's so organized, or it's organized in a way that you can immediately, first, if that says street, immediately, you know that that's the avenue. As a matter of fact, I'll do it 1720 East 4th Street. So if that's street, that's the avenue, the first 2 numbers. So I'm on the 17th Avenue, right? Okay. So, what do I have to do? I have to go to the, since it says east, it's that way, right? So I go to the 17th Avenue, right? And then go down 4 streets. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on 0 Street, and I want 4th Street, right? So I go Avenue. I'm on the avenue, so I go Avenue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until I get to 17. When I get to 17, I have to go down to the 4th Street. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. My address when I was in school was 62 in college, 6280 Northwest 183rd Street. 183rd Street. So you would have to go to 62nd Avenue, right? Go to 183rd Street, and then I was in number 80 on 63rd Avenue. Simple as that. Even numbers, even
Maybe
what?
what's your house or?
It's an apartment. It's an apartment.
Apartment.
So all of the apartments had the same. This was apartment. I think it was 104. Can't remember which one it was. No, 104 is now. Oh, as a matter of fact, I think it was 104. Yeah. Okay, whatever. The point is, when you're driving down the street, all the even numbers, meaning 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on, even numbers are on the right. Odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, so on are on the left. So it's easy for that number. So it's very easy, right? So in order to get to my house, you have highways inside Miami. So for example, you have the Palmetto Expressway that goes 17th Street, 27th Street, 37th Street, and so on. So if you're going to 62, you go up to 67th Avenue, go off, go to 183rd Street, and go right, go down to 67th Avenue, and that's the houses, roughly. But that's the way it works, and it works with, because this is northwest, it obviously means that I'm in this area, northwest. That's northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest. Simple as that. Okay. It's a little bit confusing, but it's once you understand it and get the idea, then it's very easy to find addresses. But the point is that streets go like that, avenues go like that. Okay? And then you have other denominations like circle, way, and so on that go different points, but that's not important right now.
Circle is what we call here apple.
No, that's a block.
A block.
Because that's a direct translation. Block is the complete.
I know.
Yeah, but that's the entire block. They have a street here, street here, street here, street here. That's a block. Okay. Then you have so.
Insatiable. You don't want
Surface.
surfaces. Surfaces.
Did you say cervezas?
I think
Maybe Mariana says that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I wanted to hear cervezas.
me too.
You like beer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask that again. Do you love beer or you like beer?
I like beer.
Okay, you don't love beer. Any other alcohol you like?
Wine, red wine.
Only red wine.
I don't like rum.
Rum? No.
No, ni whiskey
Or
or whiskey.
okay. Whiskey can also be called Scotch.
Scotch.
Yeah, because it's made in Scotland. So people who come from Scotland are Scottish. Anything that comes from Scotland is Scotch. So it's a Scotch man or a Scotch car or it's a Scotch egg.
It's Scotch.
So it's a Scotch.
Scotch man.
Right. So you can say Scotch or whiskey. So rum, you don't like rum. Why?
Because I
Get drunk and start dancing on tables?
no.
Yes.
I get drunk with rum. My first drunk day. I don't know what is
The first time I got drunk.
the first time I get drunk was with
Got
rum.
drunk.
Got drunk.
With rum.
Rum.
Where?
In Puerto Plata.
How old were you?
I think.
19. Started late. You're not.
No. 20.
20. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Was it bad?
Yes.
Like, bad?
Bad.
Do you remember everything?
No.
Were you with people that you trust?
Yes.
Your
yes.
family?
Yes, it was in my friend's house. In Brenda's house was.
Oh, your friend that was here the other day. Oh, okay. What are you drunk? Are you funny? Are you aggressive? When you start crying? You say, where is my English teacher? You kind of start crying for your English teacher? No?
First, I was so.
She didn't say no.
No, she didn't say no.
Okay.
First, I was happy. Then, I was sad. And after that, I was sleepy. And they decided to wake me up. That was a bad idea.
Because you were in a bad mood then.
Uh-huh.
You were in a bad mood.
You're angry.
No, because when they wake me up, woke
There you go.
me up, I started
Started, yes. Good.
vomiting everything, and we ate spaghetti.
Ooh.
A lot of spaghetti. It was a disaster. I don't like it. No.
The spaghetti looked just the same after it was thrown up before you ate it.
Yes.
Looked the same.
Yes. The day after, I had long hair, and my hair was curly because we went to the beach. So when I woke up,
Very good.
I had spaghetti in my hair.
Oh, nice.
Ew.
So glamorous. Now, okay, so how old are you now?
22. 22.
20. Okay. 22. Okay, so you were 22, you first time. Okay, so that's the first time you got drunk.
The first and the last time.
Okay, so you don't like to drink.
No.
Okay.
It was a mistake because we were playing games.
That's what all drunks say.
No, it wasn't my bad. We were playing games and we were drinking a lot everything, a lot of drinking.
And you were sitting down, and when you stood up, you said, "Oh shit!" See, I'm talking as an expert, so I know. I've been drunk a lot. I was about 10 the first time I got drunk, and I'll explain why. No, yeah, I was about 10 or 12. I really can't remember. But the point is, we were at I lived in the United States, but I was in Venezuela for Christmas, and we have an uncle. There are a lot of cousins, and we had an uncle that almost every Christmas was at his house, and he had a lot of alcohol. So I discovered the taste of rum punch. It was like poche crema, right? So it's sweet and it's really nice. And it
I
is
don't
really
like.
poche crema. Oh, it's beautiful, love it. But I tasted it and I said, "Oh, that's good. I liked it." So I started walking around the house looking for unfinished rum punches from everybody. It was a lot of people. It was like 50 people. So any glass I found with a little bit of rum punch, since I couldn't serve it because I liked the taste. I didn't know what alcohol was. I wasn't trying to get drunk. I just liked that sweet taste of the rum punch because I love sweet. So I would have, and I don't know how many I had. Maybe it could have been 3. Could have been 20. I don't know how many it was. But I got really, really drunk. Really, really. I was 10. I was a child. I had no idea I had no idea why I was feeling like that. Yeah.
And
That bad.
do you remember?
Do I remember that time? Well, I don't remember. I remember going around drinking, but I don't remember what happened after. But not necessarily because I got drunk. I don't know if I got drunk. I got really dizzy. I don't know if I was drunk, technically drunk. But the thing is, I have a terrible memory of my childhood. Not that it was bad. It's just that many things I don't remember. I remember sort of flash points, certain very specific things. But some people say, I remember one day we went to the beach and my father had a blue shirt. And I don't remember shit like that. I remember like very specific pictures of something rather than a movie. So the fact that I don't remember probably has nothing to do with the alcohol. I just don't remember.
Okay.
And but I've been drunk quite a few times in my life. However, first, I know when I'm drunk. I don't like to drive when I'm drunk. I've driven before, but nothing has happened, unfortunately. But I know I should not drive. I do not and have never been aggressive. People get aggressive. I never do. And two things. I remember everything. I know I'm drunk. And you would never notice I'm drunk. It's almost impossible to know if I was drunk. Because I can behave being drunk. And I know when to stop. I know when I say, okay, that's enough. And it's enough. There's nothing you can say or do to... And it doesn't have to be... I don't like being drunk. And I've never, ever been the kind of person that goes, oh, let's go out and drink, and drink till we're fucked up. No, never. I don't remember ever doing it. I don't sit in a bar and drink. I don't do that. Maybe I've done it a few times with a couple of friends, with my best friend, and it was probably, as a matter of fact, I remember probably one of the very few times I've done it, and it's been very specific. So it's been like, when I, for example, my best friend lives in Holland, and when I got to Holland, I like the Hard Rock Cafe, obviously. So we went to the Hard Rock Cafe to listen to some bands, and we sat at the bar, my best friend and I. I mean, that kind of thing. But it's not like, oh, let's go to the bar. That's not
And get drunk.
No, we don't. I have a bar in my house. We have a bar, and that's because we do a lot of barbecues, and occasionally you'll have a little rum or something like that. But I don't drink.
I don't drink.
I go to a party, like the event that I went on Saturday. It was an open bar, and it was a premium open bar. I had a Coke. And I wasn't driving. I just didn't feel like drinking. And I was with very good friends, and my friend's like, oh, look at that beer, I'm gonna go have a beer. And he was looking like at a hamburger, or he was looking at a pizza. I was like, oh, let me have a beer. I'm not like, I couldn't care less. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I don't like to. So I'm a very casual drinker, and also when I drink, I like to drink well. Meaning, I don't like shitty drinks like Claret. So that I would never. I've tasted it, but I would, if I'm going to have rum, I like to have a good rum. Rum. Yeah. R-U-M. So rum, for example, I'll have a Imperial or something like that. I would like to have it either dry, meaning no ice, or just ice. I would never drink rum and Coke. No. Scotch, whiskey, on the rocks or straight, meaning no ice. Because I like to taste it. Gin, vodka, anything. I like to drink straight. I'll have one, maybe two. Maybe. But you would never know. We've been to a wedding or something, and I'll turn to my wife 3 hours, 4 hours later, say, I'm really fucked up. Just like I'm now. I'm not like, hey, baby, come here. No. Hugging people and singing and doing my, no, never done. I don't like it. I don't like people who do it either.
I don't like
People who are annoying when they're drunk? No. That's not me. It puts me in a bad mood and I want to leave. I'll just get away from me. I don't like it. And in my family, hardly anybody drinks in my family. I don't think anybody. My older sister's husband drank, and because we do eat, and we like to eat. I like to eat well. That's the thing. I like to eat nice.
I like to eat.
I mean, you know what I mean? But like, if you eat like sushi or something, it doesn't have to be extravagant, but whatever I eat, it has to be delicious. It has to be good. I don't like to like salami frito. No, I don't. I mean, fine, I'll eat it. See where it goes.
I like salami.
You eat it, but it's not something like I get up in the morning, I want to have salami today. No, I like to eat well. She's a chef, so always. Yeah, she's a chef and she cooks very well, very well. So like, and I also, yeah.
My future husband has to be chef.
Huh.
Yes.
Ended.
No.
So I guess I have to study.
He's my ex-boyfriend, not my future husband.
Do you know? How did you know?
Because I will kill him. No. Mariela hired me to kill him. So that's the thing. So just like everything, I like to enjoy when I'm eating. Really enjoy when I'm eating. If I
Taste the flavoring.
yes, and that's the thing because I like.
to eat.
And since I've traveled a lot, I have eaten a lot of I have eaten a lot of stuff, a lot of things, and eaten some things that a lot of people would never eat, but okay. But I like to enjoy them. If it's pizza, for example, I don't think like all pizza tastes the same.
I don't like pizza.
What? I want it worse. What do you mean you don't like pizza? You don't eat pizza ever?
No.
I prefer not to eat pizza.
Why?
Because I don't like the. I don't know.
If we buy pizza,
I'm not allowed to
Wait.
eat anymore. What do you mean pizza?
she would have
Meaning, okay, is it the melted cheese, for example? Do you like melted cheese? Because my son does not like
I
melted
don't
cheese.
like so much melted cheese.
So it's the sensation.
It's like the. No. I don't know how to
It's the
say
part
that.
we love about pizza. That's the part she doesn't like. You are alien. I have never ever heard anybody say they don't like pizza.
Mariela.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
And I don't like things that taste like pizza too.
Okay.
She
Or-
has a problem with a pizza. I don't know anything about pizza.
Don't
She
even
was
the
bullied by
smell.
pizza when she was little.
I can eat one slide of pizza.
I can't.
No more.
It's impossible for me to eat
Or-
that like.
And when I eat the half of the pizza,
Really?
yes.
You love pizza.
Yes.
Yes.
What's your favorite kind? Pepperoni? What?
When I order pizza, I always order one with tocino and
With bacon.
Oh jeez, I said tocino. Sorry, bacon.
Oops.
With
What do I
what
say?
is the name?
I have no idea.
It's,
Ham? Pepperoni? What?
I like pepperoni, but
It's a plant.
Okay, is it a vegetable or a meat?
it's a meat.
Okay. Sausage?
No.
Bacon, sausage,
Beef?
pepperoni, beef, chicken,
Ground beef.
ground beef?
What is ground beef?
When you take meat, like when you fill
What way?
empanada, for example?
What you eat?
Today?
Uh,
Yes.
Or you
that.
ate it?
Ate today.
Okay.
Yes, that.
Because
Yeah.
I don't really have a
It's
favorite pizza,
taste.
but any pizza or anything. Because I like pizza so much.
With pineapple.
It has to. It
I don't
depends
like
on the
pineapple.
pineapple. I like it when it's fresh, natural pineapple, and when I make, because I make pizza in my house, I like to grill the pineapple. She loves it with pineapple, so I take natural pineapple and I put it on the grill, and that gives it that smoky flavor. That's different, because I slice it really thin, right? And then I put it on the grill, then I put it on the pizza at the different taste.
I don't like.
And with bacon. Oh, bacon and pineapple. Delicious.
It sounds good.
But I like, I'll make the dough with like pesto or something like that.
You have to make one for me.
Okay. Now?
No, not now.
Then
And
you have
Someday.
to bring us a lasagna.
Yes, I want to.
okay, so what is your favorite food?
Good. I really like pasta.
Okay, that makes no sense.
It's true.
Okay.
But
But what kind of pasta? What with pasta with what?
pasta, like
Carbonara.
like carbonara, sometimes with shrimps. That's my favorite, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you? Favorite food, your
But I
favorite
really
meal?
like chicken wings.
Okay. Alright. I like chicken nuggets more than wings, but okay.
I like chicken.
I really like chicken wings
Barbecue.
with
That is my favorite one.
different
Sauces.
sauces.
That is my
Do you like
favorite.
hot sauces?
I like
You
hot.
like hot sauces? You like hot sauce?
I like all the
Yeah,
sauces.
but-
There's a difference between spicy and hot. Because a lot of people say, you like spicy. Spicy is different than hot.
Yes, it's
What's the
different.
difference between?
Because spice is,
If
for
you
example,
you take-
pepper is a spice.
Yes, that.
Pepper is a spice. Cumin is a spice. Oregano is a spice.
Mm-hmm.
So oregano is not hot.
No.
So you have hot spices. For example, pepperoncini. You know what pepperoncini is? Pepperoncini is when you go, for example, Pizza Hut. For example, they have the pizza and they have these little jars. They have Parmesan and they have these little red.
Oh yes, I know.
That's pepperoncini.
It
Pepperoncini
is
is a
hot.
hot
It is
spice, right? So that is a hot spice.
Mm-hmm.
When we say, oh, it's hot and spicy, okay. Because some people, oh, I don't like spicy food. Oh, but you do like hot food. No, that's what I said. I don't like spicy food. No, there is a difference between spicy and hot. So, for example, curry, an Indian dish, is very spicy, yet it's not hot.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of spice in it because Indian food has a lot of spices, especially cumin and what else, sassafras and things like that. That is very sassafras is a very
I know in Spanish, so I translate in my mind.
that's sassafras, okay, and things like that. So, okay, so favorite dish?
I like to eat too much different things, but I prefer wings with barbecue. That is the. And what is the name of that?
Ribs,
I really
barbecue
like
ribs.
Oh my god, I
really
like it. And all of the food
Eddie
that
Hungry.
is in.
I don't like meat so
in
much.
Hiking barbecue.
Like on a barbecue?
Yes.
Okay. With a lot of barbecue sauce. Yeah.
I
I know, I like meats. I like everything. I like, and especially in the barbecue. My ideal, I want to make my own pizza oven to cook pizza with wood. It's not that difficult actually. The thing is, it just takes time. I mean, you really have to have time to make it because you do the basic foundation for it. Takes about a week or two, and then when you start building the dome, because it's a dome like that, then that takes time. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult, but it just takes time because you have to build it, wait till it dries, and wait till that dries. You can't just build it and then you have to cure it and do all that stuff. Anyway,
My ex-boyfriend has one.
really, I don't like it. Anyways, so the fact is that with in terms of food, yeah, I really like to eat.
We have to eat together.
Yes.
We have to go to eat together.
It's like sandwiches. Just I can't just make a sandwich. It has to be like a sandwich. It doesn't have to be like big, but I have to like make it with like blue cheese, cream cheese, and pears on the grill, and rubula and a whole bunch of things. That I just like to. It has to be very flavorful. Okay, just like sandwich, ham and cheese. I don't know. That's just me. Oh, okay. So how many? So okay. So that's what you prefer. You said pasta. What kind of pasta you said? Like carbonara.
Carbonara is like with milk and cheese.
It's a white sauce.
Yes.
And it's basically, you could say that bacon and is the main ingredient. Carbonara. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really like red sauces like marinara, napolitana, and things like that. The red sauce, I like it, but it does. And also, I don't like pasta with a lot of sauce. I like just, it's not like people put like a plate in it. Oh, and also it has to look nice. I like it when they look nice. I don't like it when it's like, like thrown in there. No, it has to be.
Like that. I have to prepare and be like something that you can eat, use, see, and that's it.
Right. So it has to be appealing. Appealing. So appeal is something that you like.
With the ice.
Appealing.
Appeal.
Has to look nice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It appeals to you. It's something you like.
And when you are going to taste, you say, "Oh my God, I like to
That's
see
it.
that."
Exactly. Okay. So, what about do you like sushi?
No.
I could eat sushi the rest of my life. Easy.
I don't like something
Sashimis,
that
everything.
smell. I don't like that smell.
Oh, I don't eat it with my
when
nose.
you taste that, you I don't like the thing that is green in there.
Oh, you mean wasabi?
Yes.
No, but wasabi, the thing is wasabi, you're supposed to eat just a small dab of it to put it, and you don't even have to eat it. I very rarely eat wasabi, and I eat a lot of sushi. We eat sushi almost every week. At least every 2 weeks we eat sushi. And because we make sushi at home. So. And it's quite, once you do it, you have all the implements and you have everything, it's very quick and easy to make. And it's yours? Okay. So, but sushi is something that I like it. I love it. So wasabi, we don't have wasabi at home. And when we go to like a restaurant to have sushi, we don't. Very rarely do I eat wasabi. I'll eat the ginger. I love that. You can have that by itself. What about?
I think that the taste of the sushi is so strong.
Really? But it depends on what the type of sushi, because if you have something like a Philadelphia roll, which is Philadelphia roll is cucumber, cream cheese, and it's very simple sushi. It's not strong. Has
Maybe the sushi I ate before.
yeah, other type different types, because shrimp doesn't really taste like anything.
I
Unless it's
really like
tempura.
shrimps.
Yeah, unless it's like tempura or something like that, then it has a different taste. Okay, what about sweet?
Sweet. Everything.
What is the word that when we eat a lot of sweet food and we are like no more? What's the word?
No translation.
I'm trying not to translate.
No. Say there is no translation. There are words in English that have no translation.
And well,
For example,
how can we say that?
In Spanish?
No, in English.
Oh no, I have no idea.
It's enough for sweet.
I don't, because again, there are words in Spanish that have no translation in English. For example, quincena, trasnocho, que trasnoche. There's no word in English for that.
That word.
Empalagar. It's exactly the word. I can look for it.
But that's what happens to me with the sweet food. I really like sweet sit and eat a big piece. It's a piece of cake.
Huh? A piece of cake. Or, yeah, it's a piece of cake, right?
A piece of cake. A big piece of cake, of chocolate cake. I can't. A bite. Is a bite a bite? No.
I can never have a bite of chocolate cake. I have to have the cake. That's the thing, I eat a lot. I eat large quantities of food, yeah. I eat a lot.
I can't. I prefer like now I can eat a bite and in 15 minutes I go back and eat another bite of the cake.
Oh.
Eating
Okay, of cake.
of cake.
Oh.
But no in the moment. I can eat a lot of sweet things so fast. Veronica, can you eat more chicken?
What?
You can eat a lot of sweet things.
Yes, I love that. I love sweet things. Like chocolate, cake, like
Flan is flan. What's flan in English?
what?
Flan.
Like pudding.
Pudding.
Like pudding, I guess.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
Pudding.
yes. If you looking for that in Google,
Internet.
you're going to have that.
Pudding.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's my favorite. Pudding.
Or I don't know how can I say that in English. Is
what is it describing?
it's like a cheese
Mm-hmm.
but sweet.
Cheesecake.
No, it's not cheesecake.
It's like a cheese, but it's
But-
sweet.
That pudding, you can say that in English. I don't know how
Like
can I say.
cheese, but it's sweet. What is that?
With like a small word at the end. I don't want to start Spanish. Oh my god.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, let me see.
Quesillo. That is the
No,
word.
that is flan. And
That
it's
is
flan.
flan.
And flan is
It's
flan.
pudding.
Flan
Flan.
is flan.
I
And it's
mean
a-
flan.
In English, I can say that.
Yeah, flan.
Can I say
Flan.
Yeah.
flan?
That's my favorite flan.
What was the word again? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Slow.
Now, see, it says pack up.
Pack up.
Pack up. When they say pack up in English, it's like if someone puts on weight, if they gain weight, they say you're packing on the pounds. So I don't see the translation. I don't think it has translation. So.
That's what happens. That's what happened to me with the pizza too.
What?
That word. With the pizza. I don't know why.
Oh my god, Monica. The pizza is the best. I like pizza.
So
And what is the name again of that?
Ribs.
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 So rib is one. Ribs is the whole thing.
Ribs.
Oh, when you said shrimp, shrimp is usually, there are words that are usually said in singular, but they are plural. So shrimp is one.
Shrimps.
Shrimp. Yeah. Shrimp is how you describe all shrimp.
Ah, shrimp. Okay.
Right. I really like shrimp.
I
I
really
like
like
shrimp.
shrimp.
Right.
Okay.
It's like deer, the animal. The plural of deer is deer. Fish, some people say fishes. Technically, fish is the plural of fish, singular and plural. Words in Spanish that have no English translation. That have no English translation. Okay. So let's go. Untranslatable Spanish words. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay, so this is one of those pages that you have to. Okay, so some of these words. Lampiño. Manco. Manco is somebody who's missing an arm or a leg. Tuerto. Vergüenza ajena. Morbo. Empalagar. Quincena. Duende.
Duende.
Yeah, because you have midget, but that's enano.
Duende.
Mm-hmm.
And what is a duende in English?
I don't know.
No, I don't. I mean not the word, but the thing.
The thing. I
We
don't
have
know.
we have a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name
Um,
of that?
it's sometimes argued that this is the most difficult Spanish word to translate to English. Why? In Spanish literature, specifically in poetry, this word is used very often to describe a person, how a person feels about nature. However, specifically, or especially in Spain, it can be used to describe an undescribable charm or magic that isn't limited to nature. You might hear about the duende of flamenco singing, for example. The thing is, in Spanish, in Spain, duende is a feeling. Okay? So duende is the feeling of awe, of wonder, right? And inspiration had, especially when standing in nature. The overwhelming sense of beauty and magic. So it's not duende like the little duende. Aturdir. Enmadrarse. Con cuñado. Con suegro. Resol. You know what resol is? Resol. So you have the shine of the sun. Huh? You have the ray of the sun directly, and then resol is the reflection of the sun on something else. So you might be walking down the street and the sun hits the glass of a car or a building, and that's el resol. Recogerse, estrenar. So when you wear something for the first time, you have to say, I'm wearing this for the first time. You don't say, estoy estrenando.
Gotcha.
Merendar, sobremesa. Puente in
Break.
a calendar,
Oh,
right? Antier is day before yesterday. Friolento, desvelado. Te quiero. Okay.
What?
Quiero.
Te quiero.
I love you.
Oh no, that's not a word. I was just no, I'm kidding. It is. You're. No, that's not here. I was just saying to you. No. You're in a new relationship. You're really starting to fall for this guy or the girl. You like them more than a friend, but jumping from friend to I love you is like trying to jump across a wide lake. If you only had a stepping stone. So it's more than I like you, but not quite I love you.
What is the?
Te quiero.
No, in English.
There is no translation.
Okay.
That's what it's saying. So you can say, so it's I like you is me gustas. Te amo is I love you.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no middle.
So,
Tutear. Estadounidense. Entrecejo. Dar un toque. A dar un toque. Golpista. Mimoso. Pavonearse. Soler. Yo solía.
mm-hmm.
I used to, but there's not one word for it.
Oh.
That's what it means. Oh. I don't know. Tocayo. Tocayo, there is a definition. I'll look for it. I think it's namesake. Namesake means someone who has the same name as you. So like I'm David Mariela.
Yes, but it's not one word. What you
Exactly. Well, it is written as one word, but it's a compound word. Exactly. Maybe that's it. Okay, Google. What is a namesake?
Here's the definition of namesake. A person or thing that has the same name as another.
Yeah. And it's one word.
namesake. Oh, it's one word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Name what?
Namesake.
Namesake.
Name and then sake, S-A-K-E.
Namesake.
Together. The words. Namesake.
Together. Namesake.
However, namesake, tocayo has an affectionate connotation to it. Namesake is sort of formal, so maybe that's why they don't qualify it as something that's translatable, because they're also talking about context. So tocayo is what they call, there's something called term of endearment. What is a term of endearment? If I call you honey, sweetie, baby, those things like that.
Endearment.
Yes, because endear, something that is dear to you, something that you like or love. Okay, so a term of endearment is if I call you sweetie, honey, baby, coochie coochie, whatever you call somebody. It's so stupid, but anyway, those are terms of endearment. Mommy, daddy, baby, sweetie, things like that. Okay. Girls, see you next year.
Oh, true.
No, so you're not coming Thursday, right?
No.
Okay.
Party.
And you have vacation, right?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, well, if I find things on online or something that you could, don't forget to practice. If you have any questions, write me. I'll be here. I probably won't answer, but I'll be here.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm going to Punta like at the end of the year, but I'll be here.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Have a great time.
Happy New Year, Ivana.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
See you in the next
Bye.
year. Yes, year. In the next.
We'll just see you next year.
Next year. Okay.
Exactly.
It's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
About 2 weeks. We start on the 7th. Okay.
Yes.
See you.
Goodbye. We'll take care. Have a good Christmas.